Hello and welcome to Not So Awesome Review. And today we're looking at the Star Wars Black Series Inferno Squad Agent. This is a GameStop exclusive, part of the Battlefront 2 kind of tie-in for that game. And it's a pretty cool figure. I've been slowly trying to get back into getting more Star Wars figures since, the face sculpts and everything have been getting better. And I haven't seen this guy in the stores. I know the game came out a while ago. This figure came out a while ago. But I haven't up until recently haven't seen these guys at all at any of the GameStops that we have, and my area has like four of them. So as soon as I saw it, I decided, you know what, I'm gonna get it. And I don't have a Tie Fighter pilot. I want to put that out there right now because I have heard that this is a repaint of a regular Tie Fighter pilot, which kind of sucks, but at the same time, I'm okay with because I don't own one. And even if I did, I wouldn't mind owning one that's kind of like a variant. I know they do that a lot with, stormtroopers and stuff. And when it comes to things like this, it's something I like as an army builder. I kind of wouldn't mind having four of these. I don't want to pay too much for them, but at the same time, I wouldn't mind having a whole actual squad of these guys just for, ACBA pictures, all that stuff. But that's besides the point. Action figure wise, I'll say it's a pretty decent figure. The articulation isn't bad. There's a few points that I wish it had a little bit better. I understand why they're not better, but in that department, it's not bad. Paint wise, which is the main thing you're gonna want for something like this, since it is a repaint, would be all of the logos and all the red looking good. And for the most part, it is. And there's a few parts where it's a little bit blotchy. Now I'm just gonna talk about that right now. That mostly being on the helmet right here. I don't know if you guys can see it right now, but I will get some close-ups for you guys. There is a little bit of black showing through the red here, and it's not completely smooth on the helmet. Same with right here, the red just doesn't reach all the way into all of the cracks right here, so it has like a little bit of a blotchiness going on. Aside from that, the side of it looks good. I don't know if there should be red here though, because it looks like there's a pocket there, at least like kind of molded into the plastic, but I don't know if there should be a red line going down there at all or not. On this side, we get a little red, white, and gray down here at the arm. Another little emblem thing going on. And the two on top of it, the head look good. All these buttons and switches and everything is painted really nice and clean on there. And there is a speck of red on the back here. I don't know if that's supposed to be there or not, to be honest. I haven't actually played the game, so I don't really know what is and isn't supposed to be on this figure. Though I have seen pictures of them without their helmets, and it would have been nice to get like an alternate helmetless head, or included like maybe three of them, and then that would have been incentive to say, hey, I need to buy three. Yes, I would have three extra heads in total once I had them all, but I would have been okay with that if it meant, variety throughout them. Speaking of which, I really do wish that this could pop off and we could insert maybe a plastic piece so it's more of a stormtrooper esque look, maybe an alternate head or something. Things like that would have been nice, but no, it's stuck in this kind of form. These tubes do pop off though, but only on the mask. They don't pop off down here. This piece doesn't pop off. And it's all right. It's cool that it comes off, but it doesn't really hinder the articulation all that much anyway. So it's not like it really matters if you want to take those off or not. It does come with one accessory, as you can see here. It's blaster, which can fit on this holster, which I think the holster actually comes off if you wanted to. It is a floating separate piece, and there is a peg right here. I haven't personally done it because I don't know how hard it is going to be to peg that back in, but it is an option. I can't imagine it would be too hard, but for now, something I don't want to mess with. Anyways, looking at the blaster here, you can see that it is painted nice. It does have a really nice silver dry brushing on it, which is cool. Not much else to say about it. It does fit in the hand pretty well. Just kind of rotate it around so it goes to the finger. I should say goes into the trigger. And there you have it holding its blaster, which is cool. Now the joints on mine are a little bit tight, which is never a complaint. And let me focus that. Sorry about that. Yeah, the joints are a little bit tight on mine. A little bit harder to push. But like I said, it's not really a complaint. I will take tight joints over loose joints, which has been kind of a thing I've gotten a lot on Star Wars figures, but the older ones that kind of put me off too is that the legs were always really wobbly. These legs are pretty good. So articulation wise, The figure, let's move your hand, can kind of look up, but not really. I mean, the tubes feel like it's pulling it down, but really, even without the tubes in, it doesn't do much. Can kind of look down, but it's more like looking straight. I don't know what you want to call that. So yeah, there's that. It can look left, and the tubes do kind of move with it. Can look right, and it does have a slight pivot. Not much, but it's there. Its arms can go up a pretty decent amount. That's not bad at all. Can rotate all the way around. Does have that single jointed elbow, which is okay. It's about 90 degrees. I wish it was just a little bit more, but it's not horrible. It does have a swivel at the wrist and a hinge going back a really good amount and forward a really good amount. So that's a really nice hinge right there. It does have waist rotation, and I believe it's the upper waist. You can see it moving right there. So it's not down here, but it's up here. But unfortunately, because of the armor and everything, there is no crunch forward, no crunch back, and no side to side movement, which I feel like they could have accomplished. I don't think it would have actually been that hard. Maybe cut some of the plastic on the inside a little bit, done the same on the top there, and it would have been able to crunch just a little bit. I don't know. That's just my opinion. I do wish that it had somewhat of a crunch, but whatever, it's fine. Its legs can kick up that far, can kick back that far, does have an upper thigh rotation, and it does have double jointed knees, which I think are good. That's perfectly good. I do like the leg articulation a lot. Its foot can move up about that much, which isn't too bad, and move back a pretty nice amount, and it does have an ankle pivot. So articulation wise, it's not bad at all. I'm actually okay with it. I do wish it had that, waist, ab crunch, and I wish it could look up just a little bit more. But aside from that, it's not a bad articulated figure. I think it came out pretty good. So, is it worth getting for just to have it? I would say so. I mean, if you're a fan of Star Wars, you're a fan of the game, fan of collecting these figures, I really do enjoy this guy. I think he looks awesome. But before we get done with this review, let's take a look at how it stacks up with some other figures. So here's the Inferno Squad Agent standing next to a fighter pilot Luke and Vader. You can see it's a little bit taller than Luke, definitely shorter than Vader, fits in pretty good. And yeah, here he is standing next to a Black Series Finn and the Kylo Ren we reviewed last week. And I gotta say, looking at it, I really do like the size of the helmet because it actually looks like a helmet. It looks like a figure in a suit. The helmet is a lot bigger. It's all formed around the figure nicer, and so just it gives that illusion that it actually is somebody underneath there, not just the helmet being the size of a regular head. And lastly, here we have it compared to an assortment of different figures. We have the Super Saiyan God Goku from the Figure Arts line, which stands a little bit shorter from the head. From the hair, I think is a little bit taller. The Marvel Legends Iron Man, who is definitely taller, and we have a Halo Buck figure right there, which stands taller. And I actually like these two next to each other. It actually gives the illusion of Spartans being taller, making it look good with the Star Wars figures. I like that. I never actually compared these to series before, so I'm liking what I'm seeing there. So overall, I am happy with the figure. I mean, yes, he does have a few little paint flaws, but for a $20 figure, you gotta expect things like that. You can't expect any $20 figure to come out absolutely perfect, especially in the paint department. It's something we should all know by now. But aside from that, I do really wish he had a little bit of a better ab movement, maybe a crunch forward and back would have definitely made this figure a whole lot better, maybe even perfect. I know I complained about the head, but just the ab crunch I think would have made up for that. Though the double jointed knees going the way they go, the arms and everything, they're not the best, but they can definitely be a whole lot worse. So I would definitely recommend this figure just on that. I think he came out good. If you can get him at retail price, I would definitely not recommend overpaying for it. But yeah, definitely check it out if you are interested. It is still available on GameStop's website in case anyone is wondering. So you don't really have to hunt around for it like I did. But if you're willing to pay for that shipping, maybe order a few extra things while you're on there, then definitely check it out, pick it up. Paint wise, I think it looks good. Figure wise, I think it's pretty cool. And one thing I forgot to mention is that the lenses on it. I don't know if you guys can see because of the lights and everything. I know everything looks a little bit washed out. I don't know why black figures don't kind of look good on this camera when I have all the lights on. But yeah, in the eyes, they are a little bit red. They're a little translucently red. Like I said, I don't know how that's translating to the camera, but they do have like a reddish tint to them, which I think is awesome. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you did, comment, like button, subscribe, and all that cool stuff. And I'll see you guys later. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.